Hi, welcome to the Get Missed Toy. I'm your host, James Hart, and with me is two guests. The first guest, as always, is...
Bill Duncan.
And also, she's been on Twilight of the Idols program a couple programs ago, Sharon Smith.
Hi there.
Today we're talking about mental health issues, and how does that relate to Bigfoot?
Nah, just don't use that shit up. I mean, honestly.
Oh.
Don't use up Bigfoot?
You're, well, what about Planet of the Cats? Planet of the Cats.
Planet of the Caps? What is that?
The t-shirt.
Oh, I see. I love tabbies. Oh, they're my favorite.
Yeah, mine too, because mine's bend.
Oh, they bend. Nice.
No, Benny. Benny.
They
My
bend.
cat.
So Sharon, since this was your topic, why mental health?
Well, I struggle with my own mental health, and I do the best I can. And sometimes I do pretty good, and sometimes I do awesome. But when I'm doing awesome, that's when I'm really the most healthiest, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, etc. So I feel really balanced right now. Really happy to see and talk with all of you people.
And Bill, what would you like to see with mental health?
Well, at this point, I mean, there's a lot of different therapies, different medications out there. I mean, everything is kind of like, I don't know, we're at a good height of progress in a sense of psychology and mind and socialism. And yeah.
And we were talking earlier, Sharon, you're saying I shouldn't discount all that has been, like all the institutions and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of perks to being a mental health patient in this society. We have a safety net. Like you were talking about how a woman from the hospital who was mentally ill, she was released, and she moved into an abandoned house, and she didn't take meds. She was homeless. She didn't eat. She was eating mushrooms off the wall. And she died. And I don't want to be one of those mental health patients that gets lost and falls off the map. I want to be well taken care of. I want a housing worker. I want a psychiatrist. I want a nurse to give me my injection. All kinds of things I want and I need. I need a housing subsidy. I think the mental health system is a safety net, and I'm happy to be part of it and proactive and compliant.
And Bill?
I don't know how do we have to follow that.
I was thinking before the show about like all the kind of great people that are also mentally ill. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking Edgar Allan Poe comes to mind because I read his biography, and he was suicidal at points, and he at the end of his life he thought he was God, and at least according to the biographer I read, which could be untrue, but
I don't know, I consider like schizophrenic as like mutants and schizophrenics. Mutants.
I know you have that connection because it's from the X-Men. They have a school of mutants, don't they?
Yeah, I think there's different. Yeah, there's a private school and stuff. Yeah.
So the comic book idea of mental illness is that everyone's a mutant. They have special powers, but they're also seen as like bad by people, and
They're on the fringe,
ostracized.
Yeah.
But being on the fringe has a lot of perks too. I mean, who wants to follow the maddening crowd? It's better if we follow our own path and march to the beat of our own drummer rather than be sucked into the void of human society that's so prevalent today.
Our last program was on Freud, so that kind of relates to this subject. 'Cause Freud is the father of psychotherapy, and psychotherapy, which I don't think really works. But what do you think of psychotherapy, Sharon?
I'm all for it. I think I need some. I think if more mental health patients ask for psychotherapy, not just the doctor watching the meds and the blood work and stuff like that, but if I could actually have it like even an energy healer. Energy healing is very good for mental health patients. There's that sun therapy, that light you can put it and look into it in the evenings when it gets dark and rainy in Vancouver. There's all kinds of ways to, better yourself. And I like alternative therapy too.
Do you believe in our alternative therapy, Bill?
Well, there's everything from electric shock therapy to even a system that uses magnets.
Well, I wouldn't call it
Magnet
ECT.
therapy. Yeah.
You wouldn't call ECT alternative therapy.
No, there
Well,
is one. It's called magnetic therapy. It's not ECT. It's its own thing, and they just put electrodes and to your brain, and that helps you with depression. They had it at Pinoca. I almost got it.
no. Yeah, I had treated to that once, yeah. You'd you'd go and then you'd pass out and fall asleep.
Oh, that's when they
pretty
put you
funny.
under.
Yeah.
I thought of getting it because I just was so depressed and didn't want to live anymore.
Well, I don't know, because way back when.
Yeah.
It works to a degree, but at the same time, it's I don't know, some people are saying, what, is this the Dark Ages when it's the 21st century? I think D. Kelly from Star Trek said that in the Voyage Home.
Yeah. I don't know, when you're the doctors are at their wits' end when they've tried every medication and you've been hospitalized for going on a year or more and you're not getting better and there's no relief, it's the last alternative. And there is someone, Carrie Fisher, she's, was on Star Trek. Every 6 weeks she gets a jolt, and she says it's been wonders, it's so effective for her. Every 6 weeks a little...
The magnetics or the real shot?
The real shot.
Oh.
The real ECT.
Yeah, I just remember when that happened with me, I just passed out, and like I said, it hit me so hard. It was a few hours after. It was so weird waking up.
Yeah. I think I would wake up to hope that I had no voices anymore. Like the shock.
We had a different life, or...
Yeah, everything would go back to normal. I'd have a job and rent an apartment and go to the beach on the weekend. But it never happened. But on an up note, I do have enough money to make a documentary, and I have enough money for the camera, and I have a good computer, an Apple computer, a Mac. I mean, there's lots I can do with my life, and that's thanks again to the mental health system that supported me throughout my life. Not in Calgary, they didn't support me, but in Vancouver they did.
What are your thoughts on medication, Bill?
Oh, well, considering how many fun little poisons that are out there, little candies. Yeah. Because when it comes to the medication, there's always one that's really good and stuff, but you have to get blood work done, like with lithium and even genclozapine.
I was on clozapine. I gained 67 pounds. But I have no one to blame but myself. The medication was just too heavy for me. It wasn't working. It wasn't stopping the voices. And I had put on so much weight, and I thought I'd continue gaining, that I said, no, I want a simple, old, first-generation antipsychotic shot in my ass. The latest one, if available, and that's what I'm going to do, and nothing else. No antidepressants, no other antipsychotics. Just one thing, an injection. That's what I want.
I don't know, with genclozapine, I mean, it is pretty sedating, and that's why you're supposed to take it before you, like, fall asleep.
It's still...
And it induces, sedation.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean, I've always been a more person about less drugs and more drugs. And
Yeah.
you can't
Same
use
here.
everything in the system. And there are some actual good medications that do kind of change your mood a bit. And yeah, I mean, it's not totally lost.
Yeah, you're right. You have a positive attitude.
Thank you.
What's the weirdest mental illness?
I don't know.
Have you ever met anyone with dissociative identity disorder?
No.
I don't,
don't think
know.
I might have.
That's-
Oh, they're hard to understand. They're like they act out all the time and they're violent, and sometimes, like, we had one in our building and she threw a rock and broke someone's window. She started a fire. She was throwing plates off the building. It was so disruptive to, people trying to get well, and she was so negative, and she had other personalities. She had no memory of her life, none whatsoever. She couldn't remember her childhood. And then I met another one who was on the streets for 11 years, and she finally got housing, and it's like one eye is one person, another eye is another person. The eyes don't connect. They don't have she was just weird. It was freaky. And then I met one that just got sad and would run away because his childhood was so awful, and he'd wake up in the middle of the city not knowing where or how he got there. They're very difficult to deal with, but it's not their fault. It's all the trauma they suffered through as children and adults that they had to split. Like the woman with the two eyes, she said she had to get away from the incest, so she split personality into a movie star who was so happy, and she had a wonderful husband, and she had to escape the incest. And finally she got housing, and there's people helping her, but very freaky, not used to it. But now that I've seen people and know who has that, I understand that they must have faced such horrible things to the point that they had to split from their main personality. People with sexual abuse or violent homes, war-torn countries.
What is it good for?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I mean, do you guys think that Canada or the United States is like, who's more developed? Who's more advanced?
Norway, people like Netherlands.
Canada's more advanced.
Not that Netherlands and Amsterdam and all those places.
Hi, Brazil.
Well, you know what they have in Holland for people on disability? Once a month they get a little extra money to go to a massage parlor and get a massage from a sexy lady. That's part of their... They do that for the men. It's so normal there just to go and get a rub and tug and not think anything of it. It makes them feel better. They feel happy. They feel more balanced, and that's just the way it is. I don't know if the girls get anything. I also heard that they prescribe the marijuana because they're upset that their life is sad and painful and lonely, and they're like, well, let's give them some pot. That will cheer them up, and they'll feel more introspective and creative, and it will relax them and stuff. So that's the Netherlands. I even heard in Denmark, they have a lot of... No, in Finland, they have a lot of people who live on farms with mental illness. They become part of a farming community, and they have responsibilities, and they learn to ride a horse, and they get to be out in the wilderness and beautiful, and all these small towns welcome them because it brings money into their town. and they live beautiful lives on farms, and even they have doctors there that take care of them, minimal medication. But yeah, a lot of people there are happier on disability than some of us, I think. What are you laughing at?
Well, mental illness is a really broad term.
Oh, for sure. And from the lowest, like...
So what percentage of people do you think are mentally ill on Earth?
I'd say
Well, I don't know.
1%.
Well, I don't know. I believe the Jedis that live on New Zealand and Australia, the actual Jedis that prescribe to it as a religion, the whole idea of being a Jedi. And that was even carried on into the men who stare at goats. Now, I really hope they make a sequel to that. It'd be kind of trippy.
Cool.
Well, what do you guys think is like the most prescribed thing that doesn't need to be prescribed?
Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And then antibiotics. I think you're talking about psychiatric medication.
Either way, I guess. I don't know.
I think a lot of people bought into the whole Wellbutrin plan, that it was good, you lost weight, your sex life increased, you didn't want to smoke, you started exercising. It's like one of those jumpstart meds. I think doctors for a while was prescribing it to just about anybody.
What about all antidepressants?
Well, it is a cousin. It is a cousin to Ritalin. And
Yeah, is it?
I compare it to like, I think Wellbutrin is the 90s, and even friggin' yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, sorry, lost concentration.
No, I'm just teasing.
This is a bit off topic, but I was talking to Sharon about projection and trying to explain to her what it was. And it's basically time travel, right?
Projecting yourself, forward or backwards. I mean, it could be a type of, I mean, there's 5 different even methods of string theory. And then there's like just 9 kind of things that overlap.
I think I'm doing a lot of visualizations, and I think because I'm so visual, I can think visually and design a life for myself, or think about a life that I could have had in the 90s, because sometimes I go backwards in time, and it's just my way of processing things. And so I look into the future, and I don't see much, but I do see myself living in BC housing with a dog by the beach and that kind of stuff. So I can see myself in the future. But to me, it's just my own mind doing it. I don't really believe in time travel or projectionism.
Well, it's almost like you could either be a Jedi or a mutant. Or even a blasted ape. I don't know. So 23rd, with every kind of bizarre schizophrenic trip. I mean, yeah. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll find out in the end, won't we?
Yeah.
You wake up one day and you'll be dead, and you'll be like, what the fuck happened to me? Holy shit, I was mentally ill. Fuck, man. I used to believe I was God. And now I know I'm just a peasant.
But if God was one of us.
Yeah. I'm a slave now to rich and disgusting reality TV stars.
There's this like evil mutant like enemy called Mojo, the spineless ones that have like kind of like they have similar Alien HBO. Alien HBO.
Well, we have about 6 or 7 minutes left on the show, so we can wrap things up. If you have any closing comments, Sharon first.
No, I think my only closing comment that I've got from this program was that when it comes to my doctor, I'm going to be honest to a point. And anytime I want to let him in again, I will, but right now I'm not going to.
And Bill, final thoughts?
Just cheer up and turn that smile upside down.
Because it'll all pay in the end. It'll pay off.
And new shows coming up. I wanted to do Crime and Punishment or The Idiot or something. I wanted to do a book. I'm not sure which one. Bill, did you have some ideas?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not too sure. Like, I have a few things I want to do more research about. So.
Yeah. We could do one on projection. I just kind of like put that in there. 'Cause
I think we all. Yeah.
It's interesting. You think what?
Oh, nothing. Just, yeah, you said.
How often do you see a doctor?
Once a month.
Oh, that's not bad. I go every 3 months myself.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows I'm okay, so.
Yeah.
And Sharon, do you have new show ideas?
I'd like to talk about film and documentaries.
Well, that's more on topic.
Yeah.
Not that this was off topic that much, but
It kind of went off topic, but if people listen to it, they'll understand mental health patients more and more, and they'd be less stigma against us.
well, this has been the Get Missed Toy. Thank you for listening. I'm James Hart.
I'm Sharon Smith.
Bill Duncan.
Bill Duncan. See you soon.